You see it everywhere. Men walking out of courtrooms with nothing. Men who built everything and left with half, sometimes less. You see men scared to go home, sitting in their cars, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, delaying the moment they walk through their own front door. Because home doesn't feel like home anymore. It feels like a courtroom. And they're always the defendant. You see men who used to have money, used to have options, used to have a life. Now they calculate every purchase. Now they ask permission to buy lunch. Now they work overtime just to stay afloat and wonder where it all went. You see men who regret the day they said, "I do," who replay the wedding in their head, not with joy, with shame, wishing someone had grabbed them, shook them, told them to run. And you watch all of this from the outside, still single, still safe, and you ask yourself one question: is marriage even worth it? What do men actually gain? You look around, you do the math, and you can't find the answer. You have your peace, your money, your time, your freedom, and marriage threatens all of it. For what? At some point you said it, out loud or in your head, "I'm never getting married." And you meant it. Because from where you're standing, marriage looks like a contract where men lose every time. You've seen the before and after. The hopeful groom and the destroyed ex-husband. Same man, different face. Marriage did that. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about why men see marriage as a trap. Not because they're broken. Not because they can't commit. But because they've been paying attention. Subscribe to Voices of the Forgotten, where human behavior is explained, where patterns, emotions, and hidden motives finally come to light. Drop your city below. Houston, Manchester, Vancouver. Tell me, have you seen this happen to someone you know? Let's start with what you've witnessed. Your friend got married 3 years ago. You saw him before. Confident, loud, full of plans. Now look at him. He asks permission to hang out. He apologizes for things that aren't wrong. He laughs at jokes that aren't funny because she's watching. And you think, that's not the guy I knew. That's what marriage did to him. But it's not just friends. You've seen it in your own blood. Your father, your uncle, men who had fire once, men who had dreams once. You watched them come home from 14-hour days. And before their shoes came off, the list started. What they forgot, what they didn't do, what they should have done better. You watched them shrink, not physically. Something behind their eyes. The thing that made them, gone. You didn't have words for it then, but you felt it. You watched marriage take something from them, and no one gave it back. Psychology calls this observational learning. You don't need to experience pain to fear it. You just need to watch it break someone you love. And you watched. For years. You watched. But the men in your family were just the beginning. Now it's your generation. Your friend got divorced last year. They were married for 8 years. She got the house. She got the retirement fund. She got the kids. He got this. He worked 60-hour weeks for a decade. Saved, sacrificed, built, and a judge split it in half. Gave most of it to someone who hadn't earned a single dollar. But he tells you the money isn't the worst part. The worst part is his kids. She told them things. Her version, her story. And kids don't question their mother. They just believe. Now they look at him like he's the problem. Like he's the one who destroyed the family. Like everything was his fault. He tells you he hopes they'll understand one day. When they're older. When they get married themselves. When they see both sides. But by then, he might be old. He might be gone. And they'll realize too late. And you see a warning. Psychology calls this risk aversion. When the cost of failure is total destruction. The brain refuses to engage. It doesn't matter that some marriages work. The ones that fail, they take everything. House, gone. Savings, gone.
Kids.
Weaponized against him. And the system? The system wasn't built for men. Prenups get thrown out. Alimony lasts decades. Fathers beg courts just to see their own children. You're not being paranoid. You're paying attention. You're doing the math, and the math doesn't lie. But the fear isn't just about divorce. It starts before that. Inside the marriage itself. You imagine getting married, and you imagine your space disappearing, your things in storage, your hobbies taking too much time, your friends a bad influence, piece by piece, decision by decision, until you look around and it's her house. You just pay for it. You imagine coming home, and there's no peace, just noise, complaints, a list of failures you didn't know you committed. You imagine giving everything, working, providing, sacrificing, and still not being enough, still being criticized, still being invisible. Psychology calls this emotional labor imbalance. You carry the weight. You manage her moods. You absorb the stress. And when you need something back, you're being dramatic. You stop asking for things. You stop expressing needs. You stop expecting to be heard. Because every time you try, it becomes about her. And then there's money. The pressure to provide. You work. She spends. You save. She wants more. You sacrifice. She expects. You've seen these marriages where the man is an ATM, not a partner, not a person, a function. You lie awake doing math in your head while she sleeps fine because the pressure isn't on her. It's always on you. Here's something men don't talk about. Some married men sit in their cars before going home, not because they're busy, because they need silence. Before they walk into the storm. Home used to mean peace. Now it means performance. Now it means survival. You lie next to someone every night and feel completely alone. That's not marriage. That's prison with a roommate. Men say it all the time. Marriage is where love goes to die. Marriage kills romance. I've seen too many guys get destroyed. You used to think they were bitter. Now you understand. You look at couples married 10 years, 20 years, and you see it. The deadness, the tolerance, the going through motions. And you think, that's not love. That's endurance. But here's the part no one says. Here's the twist underneath all of it. The fear isn't marriage. It's marrying the wrong person. Because every horror story you've heard, every man you've watched break, they knew. Before the wedding. They felt it. Something was off. And they married her anyway. And in this generation, finding the right one feels impossible. Everyone's hiding something. Everyone wants the wedding. No one wants the work. You've met women who wanted security. Not you. Who wanted provision. Not partnership. Who would have married anyone with the right paycheck. And called it love. So you pull back, not because you don't want love, but because you've seen what happens when you give it to the wrong person. They don't treasure it. They drain it. Then they leave with half of everything. So you stay single, you stay safe, and the years pass. You watch other men take the risk. Some crash and burn, some don't. And you wonder, are you protecting yourself? Or just choosing a different kind of trap? You avoided the nagging. The draining, the slow death of who you used to be. But now it's quiet, and sometimes quiet feels like sinking. Here's the truth. You're not wrong to be scared. Everything you've seen is real. The men who lost everything. Real. The system that doesn't protect you. Real. The risk. Real. But the men who got destroyed, they didn't fail because they got married. They failed because they ignored what their gut already knew. They saw the red flags. They felt the doubt. And they walked down the aisle anyway. That's the real trap. not marriage. Ignoring what you already know. Choosing comfort over truth. You were never afraid of marriage. You were afraid of becoming your father. You were afraid of losing yourself. You were afraid of choosing wrong and paying for it with your entire life. And now you know why. If this explains something you've been carrying, subscribe to Voices of the Forgotten. Like this if you've ever looked at marriage and saw more risk than reward. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. Marriage isn't the trap. The wrong person is. And now you understand why it's almost impossible to tell the difference. This is Voices of the Forgotten, where human behavior is explained, where patterns, emotions, and hidden motives finally come to light.